to my channel, Crochet by Katie Humes. I hope you are having a fabulous day. Today we are going to sew all these pieces together so that you can have a baby Yoda that looks like this. Dun dun da! Materials that you need for this video are scissors, a yarn needle, and some kind of maroon yarn to make this small detail here. I am so sorry, this is just a scrap yarn. I do not have the exact color of this. It actually came in like a multicolor pack, so I really don't know what it was. It was the Mandela yarn. It's so soft, I love it. I like it better than Red Heart. But Red Heart is super nice for amigurumi because it's more stiff and it can hold those stitches really good. So I don't usually use this type of yarn for amigurumi, but it is perfect and nice and thin for smaller details. So it is that brand, but I don't know what color it was. Anyway, any maroon will do. It's very, very small detail. Let's begin. First, we're going to sew his body onto his head. Now that we have done his lovely face details, we're going to sew this body on. And then we'll move on to the ears. First, we're going to sew the body on. So insert the tan yarn tail onto your hook. I'm actually going to be using these pins. I think, yeah. So position his head where you want it. And put just a couple of pins in. I'm going to crisscross them. Whoa, I got two. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to go this direction because that's where we ended. So I'm going to just take my yarn needle and catch his head. And so I'm going through the head, and then I'm going to catch the body here, right along this edging. Okay? Then I'm going to go back a stitch. So I came out on this stitch. I'm going to go back to this stitch right here and do the same thing. See, I'm catching the head, but I'm coming out under that first row of stitches. Okay? I'm going to take these pins out right here so they don't catch in my yarn as I'm going along. And like I said, you don't really need those if you can just hold it still, but they do help. So again, I'm going to backtrack, go back one stitch right here, catching a lot of pieces of the head. Come out over here, go back in right here. Now I'm going to take these stitches out these pins out before I go through so it doesn't mess with my yarn. look how cute. All right. I can't get over how cute this pattern turned out. I'm super happy with it. Now, I've made it all the way around. Now, what I do is I gently pull, and you'll be able to tell if there's any spots that you want to reinforce. I'm going to reinforce right here. I don't know if you can see it's dipping a little bit, and I want to reinforce it. And I'm going to squish the stuffing so it comes up now. I kind of had it shoved down. I'll put a reinforcement stitch there. Maybe another one here. Then I'm going to call it good. Because when I tug on it, it's nice and firm. Okay? That's how you attach the body to the head. Now just come out anywhere on the body, make a knot, and tie it off. I know it seems weird that I'm showing you all these things, but I remember when I first started, at the end of the crochet videos that I would watch, they say, now tie it off, and I had to literally go search how to tie it off because I just wasn't confident. I was afraid my work was going to come undone. Now I've been crocheting for, oh goodness, I think 6 years now, and I feel more confident that my work isn't going to come apart because there's things that I made 4 and 5 years ago and 6 years ago that are still alive and they didn't come apart, and so I'm like, okay, I did it right. But it takes time to get that confidence. The next thing we're going to add is the little detail with the maroon yarn. Okay, so all we need to do is find the end of the maroon yarn, and I'm not sure how much you need. Maybe like, I would start with 12 inches. That is probably being way too liberal. I just like to always have more than I need. Put it on your needle. Okay, and we're gonna come, let me look at him, the one I already made. We're gonna come out about right here, okay? So we're gonna insert it into the back of him and come out right along the bottom stitch, okay? Now I'm going to leave this tail back here because we're going to tie off, but I'm going to pull it, that'll be plenty. And then all I did was I came all the way up to the top here, a straight line. And then I'm going to come out back here. See? That's all I did. Made a straight line. Now, on this side, I don't want all this maroon yarn to be, you know, I don't want to just go in over here and have this stitch. So I want to make sure I go back in the same stitch I came out. And I'm going to come out on the top on this one. Because if you notice on the top over here, it doesn't matter if I come out on the top. You're not going to see that because it's going to be covered. Ha ha ha. You know what? I'm actually going to come down a little because there is a little gap right there that I just noticed. So, never fear. If you feel like you've made a mistake, just go back through. No harm done. Bloop. I'm going to go down a little on this one too. Oh, I can't. That one has to stay there. I'll have to make sure that covers. All right. I'm going to come down a little farther on this. Now I want it to be like that. Maybe right there. You can eyeball it. See where you want it before you actually put it in there. I think I want it right there. It's such a small detail, but it really adds a lot of character to the piece. There you go. Now we're going to go all the way back over to this one. We're going to tie these two strings together. We're going to fluff up our Yoda. Tie these together. Like so. There you go. Next, we're going to sew on his ears. So get both of your ears and kind of look at them. See, is this one drooping a little more? See what you think will look best and where you would like it placed. I'm going to put mine right there, I believe. So I am going to use pins on this part again, just because it helps to have them both in place to see. Nah, I like that ear right there. I will leave it. Now I'm only going to put one pin on the side I'm working with. No, I'm going to do two. I lied. I apologize. Just needs... Okay, look it over. I feel like this ear needs to go up a little. Yep, that's better. Alright. I'm only going to show you how to do one. This video is getting long again. So, insert that yarn tail. Okay, now we came out back there. We're going to go back through and come out right next to the ear and catch it. Go back down in, right next to it. Come back out anywhere along the head. Okay. Now we're going to go back in that same stitch and go back in the back side. Now we need to pull out this needle because it's causing issues. I'm going to pull them both out actually. I'm sorry that this view is not the greatest. Just continue to go back and forth until you have it on there very securely. Doesn't want me to go in right there. And then, I feel like that's pretty tight. Come out anywhere on the head and leave your tail hanging back here. And once you sew on this other ear, come out in that same stitch, tie them, and insert them back in just like I did with the maroon stitches. Okay? Now for his arms. Look at your arms and see which one you want on which side. I poked that one down. And see, look at details like if you can see any of the seams, you want to put that seam in the back. Okay? But just like with the ears, we're going to pin the arms onto the side. And put them right next to the neck. What I'm going to do is put this through here because I want this to be my outside of my arm. And I'm going to pin it on right there, just below the ears. I pin it right there. And like the ears, I'm just going to do one of these with you. Again, sorry, it's a little bit of an awkward angle. Just go back and forth. I can see why there's not many tutorials about how to sew things on, because it's very fumbly. Oh my goodness, what is going on here? There. So pins out, arms on, pins out. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Okay, and see, I can see that this needs some more stitches back here. So I'm going to go right back through. And I'm going to work the back of the arm now that I've got the front of the arm where I want it. Oh my goodness, I am sorry. I keep getting out of the camera. Okay, that arm's on good. I'm going to leave this string here and do the second arm, and I will meet you right back, hopefully to give you a better angle of how to sew on this part, and then we are done. Just in case my other clips, because my hands are fumbling around, didn't work very well, I'm going to show you how I do this. So I sewed the two arms on and I came out in the same stitch with the tails. Now I'm going to tie them together. I just double knot it. You can triple knot it if you want. And then I insert the needle back in that same stitch and come out anywhere on the body. Oops, I lost it. And then pull it through. Make sure that knot goes in there. And then I just trim the yarn. And that seems to hold really well. All the little things I've made have held up really nicely with that little trick. The final thing to sew on is this cute little shawl thing. Just really makes it look like his little cloak, and it's super cute. So like I mentioned before, this is curling up the right way. So you want to just put it on him how it's curling. Oh, I've got a fuzzy there I want to deal with first. There. Alright. So now what I did was pin one side down. And go around quite tightly. So pushing with my finger, I'm going along here. I'm getting it kind of tight. And then I wanted it a little off-centered. You can do it centered if you want. I thought that off-center looked cute. And pin that down. Alright, you can put pins all along if you would like. In fact, I'm going to put one on the very center back. Maybe two. Just so as I'm going along, it'll work just nicely. Alright, I'm going to go right in under that little edge right there. And I'm going to come out anywhere on the body. Go back in that same spot. Come out right along the edge, anywhere along here. You don't need many stitches on this section, just enough to keep this thing on him. Definitely want some here along the edge. So we'll go right up along there right now. I'm actually running out of yarn, so I'm going to tie this off and get another piece of tan yarn. I'm going in back there, coming out in the front. I don't like where I sewed that one. It's a lot more tricky trying to film this than doing it without the camera right by my hands. Just FYI, we're struggling together. All right, I'm gonna call that good. And I'm gonna tie it off. It's more centered than I wanted it, but it's still very cute. There it is. Now let's tie these. Whoa, what is going on back here? Oh my goodness, I made a big mistake. I'm just gonna cut that. I don't know where that's coming from. Okay, I've got to redo some stuff here. All right, off camera, you get the gist. I'm just sewing that on there. I don't know how I did that mistake. I'm gonna sew that on there like that off camera because I am really struggling here. But just continue to go back and forth until you get it where you want it. All right, it's all finished. So here's the first one and the second one that I did on camera with you guys. I feel like his face needs to be a little bit squished. Okay. There's how it all turned out. I hope that some of these clips are usable and I hope that you enjoyed this. And I hope that some of these tips helped. I know some of them were very basic, but hopefully they were helpful. Thank you for watching. If you like this channel, my channel, if you like my videos, please like and subscribe. Have a wonderful day. Bye. Also, I don't know why my finger is shaking so bad today in my videos. It's like shaking so bad every time I say bye. I don't know. Very weird. Anyway, have a great day. See you later.